Cecile. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, tell me what brings you here today.
Just been having a lot of issues at school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what kind of issues? What's going on?
Well, the team found out that I was gay, and they all kind of just turned on me.
When you say the team,
Like
Yeah,
everybody.
your entire, is it a basketball team that you're on?
Yeah.
Is that right? And tell me a little more about that. What happened? How did that come about? He's a therapy dog.
He's actually a therapy dog.
Yeah, just say hop up.
Hop up. Hop up.
It's okay. Hop. There you go. Kind of hard for him because he's an old man. But he's a good therapy dog and it's good to snuggle up with. So, at school, what was going on that you said somebody had outed you or?
And just getting made fun of for being gay. Everyone's just been calling me mean.
What was the actual issue that this came out? You're not openly gay at school?
No, I'm not openly gay. I like this girl and I asked her out. And then she didn't like that, I guess, and told everybody.
Ah. So somebody you really thought might care for you and you trusted to share that information with, and she didn't honor you or your privacy.
Nope.
Okay. So what's happened since then?
Everybody's been turning on me, against me.
And is that one of the reasons you're not going to school these days?
Yeah, it's probably the main reason.
Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about what we do here at ABC Company. We work mainly with teens, and I'm one of 3 different behavior coaches. So you need to, what I'd like for you to understand is, first of all, whatever we talk about when you come in is really between you and I, and that's about confidentiality. Okay, so whatever is discussed in this room, I want to let you know it stays in this room. And also, there's an element of privacy that you can also expect. And by law, these are principles that are afforded to you as a client. So you need to understand that our records are kept in a very secure place. They're locked, they're triple locked. People don't have access to our files that shouldn't have. And the only time that I would ever have to disclose any information would be as if you disclosed to me that you were potentially going to harm yourself, or if you were a danger to someone else. So even then, if we ever had those kinds of discussions, you can still expect that I would share with you if that confidentiality needed to be changed. We would discuss how it would change and when it would change, and you would be part of that process, okay? So this is for you and about you in order to help you feel that you can be successful when you go back to school. Okay. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
So it sounds like maybe we could talk about setting some goals, because you do want to go back to school, right? So that's a goal. And you don't want to be harassed, right? So one of the things I can talk to my supervisor about is maybe how to set up some meetings at the school with the administrative people there to see what it is that they're doing to stop bullying, and especially in protecting people who identify as LGBTQ. Okay, so that's important. That's a federal law. You have protections there. And we need to understand what they're doing in order to ensure that that kind of education is going on at the level of the teachers, and then also at the student level. What's going on? Are there assemblies that they're doing to try and, educate students about not only anti-bullying, but about, making judgments and treating people as inferiors. It's an equality issue, it's a civil rights issue. So that, after your generation, hopefully your kids or your kids' kids aren't going to be experiencing this type of, this kind of hate and disrespect, right? Okay, so that's one goal that we could do. And if it's okay with you, I might like to talk with your dad about that. And see what his thoughts are, because I think when we involve the family, that we get a lot more credibility with the school, okay? What else would you like to see accomplished?
Nothing much else besides just the school.
What about the kids you interact with, or the kids, that you felt were your friends?
Maybe just try to gain some new ones.
Get new friends?
Yeah.
Okay. So, one way to go about maybe accomplishing that would be to look at some outside organizations that deal with teenagers. And that would be like an LGBTQ group for teens. There's one called 1 in 10, and it meets all over the Phoenix area. And I happen to know there's one in your area. So we could make arrangements to get you to one of those teen meetings, and you would be able to hang out with some of your peers and see whether or not that would help boost some self-confidence and help you make some new friends who aren't going to judge you because they identify as, being outside of the norm between, cisgender or heterosexual, okay? So, would you be open to that? Okay, so we'll set something up for this week, and then when we meet next week, you can tell me how that went, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, so those are two goals, okay? We're going to talk, kind of educate the school and find out what they're doing, kickstart some things there, involving your dad as well, getting you maybe to a 1 in 10 group or a group similar to that, see how that increases your socialization. But is there anything else that you'd like to see happen between now and the end of the school year to kind of make sure things are smoothed out?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. So, let me ask you this, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very low and 10 being very high, how are you feeling about your problem right now, or this problem?
5.
A 5? Okay. And would you expect that if we were able to achieve these 2 other goals for now, that might increase your level of feeling better about life? Okay, good. All right, well, it was really great to meet you, and we're going to talk again next week. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you, okay? All right. How are you doing, Donna?
Doing good.
So good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, so, since we talked last, your dad and I have talked to the school administrators and discussed some of the bullying that was going on, and they were quite surprised that there was something happening relating to your feeling ostracized and actually having been sort of persecuted, for lack of a better word. And so they're quite concerned, and they want to talk with you if that's okay. I told them that was up to you, to whether or not you felt safe enough to discuss it with them. but if you do, your dad will let them know, and probably the social worker and the principal will want to talk with you a little more to get a better understanding of what exactly happened, when it happened, who was there, and then talking to the basketball coach to see what she is aware of. Okay, so that ball is already rolling, and they were very concerned about you, and were really disturbed to hear this news. So they want to see you back in school. They want to see you successful. They think very highly of you. So that's good news. Overall, how your week went?
Oh, it was pretty good.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I just kind of slept in, didn't really do anything, which was nice.
And tell me about you did go to your 1 in 10 meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that meeting.
It was fun, they were all really nice.
And what was it like?
We just for this time, I guess we just played board games, it was really fun.
And what did you think about the participants who were there?
They were all really nice and cool.
And did anybody stand out to you at all? I mean, did you?
No, not really yet.
Okay. So, you think you could make some friends there in this group?
Yeah.
Okay. So that sounds like it went well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want to share that happened this week? Or?
No, not really.
All right. Well, how are you feeling about maybe wanting to try going back to some classes this week?
Yeah.
You're open? Okay. Maybe, do you think we need to create some safe space for you if somebody were to act inappropriately towards you?
Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of things do you think you would need for that?
I have no clue.
Okay, well let me give you a scenario. Somebody's sitting behind you in class making rude remarks or poking you or, just trying to get a rise out of you. What do you think you would need to do to walk out of that situation?
Probably just, I don't know, leave the classroom.
Okay, so what do you need to do to leave a classroom?
Ask the teacher to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Okay. So, sometimes it's not always like a great time to raise your hand and say, or can I go to the bathroom, right? So, how about if we talk to your teachers and let them know that there might be certain classes that if you're having some, somebody's trying to trigger you or create some, unfriendly environment for you, that it's just okay for you to get up and go to the bathroom. Right? Maybe just have a pre-agreement. Okay, so you don't need to ask permission. That would probably be very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
You think so? Okay. And that would save you the embarrassment of having to wait or ask. Okay. So we could probably set something like that up as just not to abuse it. Use it for 5 minutes or less,
Mm-hmm.
but enough to gain your composure. Maybe make a note about it so that it's something you can go back and talk to the principal or the social worker about. Okay? So that sounds like a good strategy. Well, hey, come on in.
Hey.
How are you, Donna?
Good, how are you?
Good, come sit down. I've been waiting for you. How you doing?
Doing good.
You look really happy today.
Oh, thanks.
How'd your week go?
Went good.
I can't wait to hear. Tell me a little bit more.
Kinda just slipped in again.
I don't want to know about sleep. I'm happy you're getting sleep, but
Alright.
tell me about school.
Oh, school.
Yeah, you went back to school.
Yeah, I did go back to school.
And?
It went well. Still, remarks being made, but that's okay, I guess. Because I can handle it now.
Really?
Yeah.
What's different between then 2 weeks ago and now that you say you can handle that?
Well, I just have my friends now. They don't really leave me by myself just in case. And the remarks have stopped only because teachers are now watching closely.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the good news,
Yeah,
but it's still going on a little bit.
just a little. It's
Mhm.
calming down.
And how are you perceiving it overall? Like your days when you're going in, are you anxious to go to school? Are you looking forward to your classes? What's it feel like in the morning when you're
Kind of just mutual with it.
mutual?
Yeah, mutual. Like I'm fine with going.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how about your basketball?
I'm thinking about going back to the stadium. I don't know. Just after what happened, I might have to go like look outside of the school for teams.
Mm-hmm. You are a really bright young lady, and that's an excellent idea. Sometimes, especially when you've been so freshly hurt by others' actions, sometimes just giving people a little breath and time and space will help maybe heal and give them some perspective about, gee, maybe they could have handled this differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if they were to come up to you in a few weeks and say, I'm really sorry, Erna, or Donna, I didn't mean to do this.
I mean, I'd probably forgive them. I can't just
Uh-huh.
keep going at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that you ever contemplate that might happen?
No.
No.
People, they find it hard to say sorry.
Yeah. Do you think people have the ability to change and accept new ideas?
I mean, yeah, one does.
Mm-hmm. Do you think some of those kids on your team might be like that?
Yeah.
Might come around?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. How's that make you feel?
I mean, I guess good.
Mm-hmm. So, we've done the two things we talked about, and I asked you in that meeting last week how you felt before we started implementing changes. We talked about a scale of 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
in that 1 being very low and 10 being very high. I asked you how you felt about how things were going. And do you remember what you said?
I think 5.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. You felt like you were in a 5 mode, which means there's a lot of room for improvement. So just with this 1 week that went by, where would you put that now?
An 8.
You put it in 8 already. Wow. Wow. So that must give you a lot of what we've done so far as building advocacy for you and creating safe places for you has built your confidence. That's really great. So we only have a few sessions usually with our clients. If something were to come up and you'd want to come back and see us,
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome to call and make an appointment, and we'd be happy to see you and begin services again. But right now, the way things are is, it sounds like we've had 3 meetings. You're feeling pretty good. Do you think that you need to come back next week?
No, I think I'm good.
You think you're good, so you'd be ready to terminate services as things are today.
Mm-hmm.
But if something changes,
I can always just come back.
that's correct. Right. All right, well, it was nice to meet you.
It's nice meeting you too.
All right, you have a good day.
You too.
All right.